Good evening. We are Nox Sinister, and we're about to get medieval on your ass.
Yeah, I'm here with Nox Sinister, here with King Knight on vocals, Nobody on guitar, Erick on guitar. We also have Jonny on the bass and Dilan on the drums. Repping the Kingpin Skinny Pimp shirt. I'm Heather, and I'm here interviewing one of the coolest bands out in LA right now. In fact, probably the most interesting band, Nox Sinister. I'm just excited to finally get to talk to you guys and check out what you're doing, because even your last show at the last fall,
where we blew up the speakers.
Yes, they blew out the speakers, and it was epic. And you were in everyone's face too. It was an epic performance.
There's one thing we like doing. It's getting in people's faces.
Yeah. So let's talk about your album.
Oh yeah, Vitiatus Rex.
Vitiatus Rex. Tell our viewers what that means. I'm wearing the album cover on this shirt.
Vitiatus Rex was the writing began in early 2021 with me and this guy, when after we released our first EP, Violent Overture, in 2020, I had the wild hair up my ass to write a full album. And so the album began with March of the Tyrant. I was living in Oregon at the time, and I would make trips back and forth from LA to record the album. The last piece of the puzzle was actually this guy's solo. So like right when he joined the band, he got a solo on our final track, Equalize, and we released it in October 2021. The songs are just about, evil. That's sort of our whole shtick, is that we're not really a band. We're a team of evil monarchs, or supervillains disguised as the band, trying to take over the world, trying to coerce power and love from everybody else.
Yeah, I was about to go into all your lyrics. Some of my favorites were spite, anti-nemesis, but you also have like a lot of Shakespearean references.
Yeah.
Why is that such a part of this band?
Shakespeare is metal as fuck, because all the tragedies and histories are about brutal civil wars and betrayal and murder and plotting and just general connivery. I was just so inspired by all of the stories, mainly the villains. I remember when I first took a Shakespeare class, and the scene that I got put in was a scene from Richard III. So when I was doing the scene from Richard III, I was really just enamored by him and his whole way of being, and his whole way of using his silver tongue to get what he wants. I kind of identified with his whole thing of, if I can't have love, if no one's going to love me, then I'm going to take power from everyone. And I thought that was very human, so I kind of identified with that. And the closing track on our first EP, Violent Overture, was all about Richard III.
You're very theatrical in your performance too. So one of the reasons that they caught my attention was seeing you at the whiskey, and that was the first time you had ever used the props, the blood, the book.
The book, yeah.
The
that was
sword.
The first time we brought the book, the dagger.
The dagger, yes.
Yeah, like I said before, Shakespeare's very metal. It's all so brutal and so dark. The theatrics of live theater should meet the brutality and the aggression of metal music. Theater and metal were always one and the same. I grew up watching bands like Iron Maiden, and was seeing all the shit that they would bring up on stage. I remember last time I saw Maiden, they had a whole B-52 hanging from the rafters of the stage. Bruce Dickinson came out with fucking flamethrowers on his arms, and so when we were starting to play live, I was just like, well, what would I want to see on stage from a band? What could I pull out that would distance us from every other band that we play? Because the songs themselves, we wanted to be theatrical. What's going to drive that home? What's going to be a nice visual aid for the audience, and what's going to be something that people will never forget? It's violent musical theater. That's what it is.
very Artonian.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's theater. It's theater of cruelty. It's theater of cruelty. The thing that we can say with confidence whenever we play a show is that we know no other band is going to be drinking blood. No other band is going to brandish it like a real dagger.
I did want to go back to the album cover again.
Oh, yes.
Just because you did mention that you hired a painter.
Yes.
So how did that process work?
There is an artist on Instagram, Simona Shelley. I hope I am pronouncing that right. I absolutely love her work. I followed her for a while. So we commissioned her to do the album art. She sent us 3 designs. The single cover for March of the Tyrant has a red figure with a white crown, and the album cover has a white figure with a red crown. And there's kind of a symmetry between those two because the album cover is the crown corrupting man, and the single cover for March of the Tyrant is man corrupting the crown. Those are themes that are prevalent in Shakespeare. Does power corrupt man, or does man make power?
And are you looking into those themes for new music that you're writing?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's no rhyme or reason to the new music that we're writing. We have one song that is about a Viking on a vengeance quest. One song about the War of the Roses, and then some of the other songs that I've written lyrics for are just stories of just like high fantasy stuff. Then there's one song that I wrote about Robb Stark from Game of Thrones. So our new song Fields of Blood, when they first brought it to me, it was fast, it was intense. I just thought of like a whole bloody war. And
There is always a story I notice in every song because they're all relatively long, like 5 minutes plus. So there's always it seems like there's a beginning and an end to every story.
yeah, that's plain and simple what it is. We like to tell stories.
They're going on tour with Ekton, they're a Hungarian metal band,
Yeah.
right? How did you get in touch with them?
That's this guy. I mean, Europe's gonna love us. We're gonna
love Europe. We're gonna love Europe.
Yeah, you're going to, I looked up your dates, so it's late September, you're going to Hungary,
Yeah.
Prague, Warsaw, and then you're spending a few days in Germany, right? That's going to be awesome. I'm glad you're going to show them your music.
That's not the only thing we're gonna show.
You're going to show them a great show. Please come out to a Nox Sinister show and support them. Listen to their new album, buy their shirts.
Come congregate with us. Be a part of our army, and
you will not be disappointed.
you will not be disappointed.
All right. Thanks again, Nox Sinister. This is
you.
King Knight, Jonny, Dilan, Erick, and nobody on guitar. So check them out. Really go support Nox Sinister. They're doing great things.
If you choose to worship us as gods, we will be merciful to you.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm Heather, and we're out.